Hi, I'm Jeff, coming from my new portable garage here. Been having to rethink quite a bit lately on where I'm going to go with my channel, and I'm moving more into welding. I got a lot of welding projects I want to do with skills I want to develop, so I'm going to focus on that. And so I'm going to be changing my channel name to Homestead Fabricator. It'll be doing like welding repairs that you do around the house, modifying stuff, try to work on that from a beginner's perspective, build up my skills, get better equipment, and start working on things that you can do for income from the standpoint of working out of your own shop, doing non-structural stuff like arts and crafts and stuff. And yeah, I won't be able to weld on this wood floor, but I can do a lot of other stuff in here. And I'll take you for a quick tour of the garage, how I'm going to set up for fabrication work. It'll be somewhat efficient. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do for workbenches, but I have a pretty good idea. And let's get going with the tour. On this wall, I'm not sure where I'm going to put the electrical box. I'm thinking over in this corner, so when I do get grid power, I can hook it up to that, and it'll be closest to the grid power, which is going to be just at the corner of these trees here. So it won't be too hard to run a line over to the back through that trench and over to the garage. Panel here would be good. I'm thinking of making this the welding station, because then it's the shortest run to the box. Put all my wires basically in one place. You know, then maybe run one wire across to run a chop saw over on this side. I'm thinking of doing is storing the metal square tubing and stuff on racks over on this wall. Oh, maybe shallow racks or something, depending on how big of stuff I want to put up. Put the storage racks here, have the chop saw stand here, so it could go straight from the rack right into the chop saw stand. So that's probably going to be the only thing on this wall. And then have the welders and stuff set up there so I can weld outside, because I don't want to weld on the floor. That's important to have the welders over there. And then, because the electrical panel is there, I'm not going to put cabinets up until here. I might have what I'm probably going to do is put the workbench close to this height here, and then come across here, maybe, and then angle it off this way. Maybe have the bench vise and stuff over there on that corner, and then maybe have some shallower wall cabinets here, and then over here have another workstation. I might have this more for woodworking, you know, for running table saws and wood tools. But also over here, I might have, you know, the small engine service station, work on the chainsaws, and maybe have the battery charging station here. Or over there, because I have a lot of rechargeable battery stuff, mainly the chainsaw, but keep that stuff organized. Chainsaw stuff and stuff I'm going to use organized closest to the front. And there is room to run the wire up through there, come down here, have a double outlet here, double outlet over there, and have room to wire up some lights. I'm probably going to go with LEDs straight out of the box. Probably go with regular incandescent bulb type sockets instead of the strip lighting, but I'll have to look into that strip lighting more instead of the old fluorescent lights. And I got enough ceiling height where I could work on some pretty big stuff in here. I might do some welding to, as an experiment to see what it will do to the floor even if I have welding blankets. I'm not going to do anything without welding blankets in here. Maybe for a chop saw stand I'll have a welding blanket hung up on the wall so it can knock the sparks down, and maybe right under it. See what kind of chop saw stand I set up. I'm not going to run the abrasive wheel saw in here. Too many sparks. The dry cut one, yes. And as far as welding repair projects go, like I said, from the homestead type idea, well, I'm not a true homesteader because I'd be growing my food, but I'll approach welding projects based on that. Like, this ski is roached out, so I'll do stuff like repairing that on a budget instead of buying a new ski, which would be, ridiculous for an old machine like this. You buy another running machine for like, $400 or $500 in really good shape, and much newer. Like, could be like, 10 years newer. You can get a running one for like in the $500 range that's in really good shape. So I'm just going to see if I can get that motor going. That'd be like one repair, but that would be more of a random video because this recoil isn't working. So that'll be in the general repair videos, but repairs like welding up that ski will be in the fabrication line, and be doing basic little stuff too, like rebuilding that skid shoe. If you can see that, that's the bottom of it is worn out. The other side is fine, so at least I have a pattern to go off of. Weld that up with some flat stock and get going on some special welding craft projects. I've got some really interesting art projects to do, and when you see that, you're going to be amazed by what that all looks like. You're going to love that. Yeah, I got ideas how to power this. I could power this directly with just a pass-through from Northern Tool that has like 6 outlets, but it won't have 240 outlets. So what I want to do is wire it up to code, more or less, and because it's got to be grid power, eventually has to be wired to code. So I'm going to put in the 50 amp outlet for the welder, and I'll switch it around back and forth when I need to. So I'm only going to run one 220, 240 socket. Once I get the permanent shop built, this will the wiring will be just here for, if you want to do like wood shops, because then this will be converted into a full wood shop. Once I build the permanent shop, that would be a couple years though, but yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with that bracing in the way. Maybe I'll just have to cut that flush with that. I think that is only there for transport for extra stability because of this garage door here, giving it a lot of flex. As there is not another one like that throughout the garage. You can see there are no more like that, so I'm assuming that was for stability for transport, so that's going to go. Because I see nothing structural about it. So get that removed, and then I can get most of this covered and insulated. I can't really insulate this part, so it's going to be a little colder here, but the heat will stay in most of the garage. Because of the height, I would need to add another foot to it to accommodate that roll door and be able to insulate up there. So that is not going to be insulated, but the rest of it will. At least I'll do the walls. I might just leave the roof open. We'll see. But I got to get a screen in here keep the bugs out from getting in up through the vent. Get a screen up in there and get that secured so I don't get hornets and wasps in here. Those are nasty little buggers. They got into the cabin shed somehow that way, inside it. That's going to be another project, is get everything out of there, but at least I have basically a loading dock height for the trailer, so that'll reduce a lot of fatigue. But yeah, that's the update on my channel, rebranding it. I already have the website Homestead Fabricator locked up, got that via GoDaddy.com. So I have that all protected. Yeah, going to be a lot of fabrication work with cabinets and benches and all that. Going to be a lot of storage. I don't know how I'm going to situate things. Yeah, combination of storage here, lumber rack and metal. Probably the metal lower and the wood higher, depending on, you know, the type of wood I'm going to be storing in here. Probably stored the odds and ends from leftovers from projects when I overbuy. That's what I'm going to most likely be storing in here, is leftover lumber, so I'm not going to have a whole lot of that. Back wall, I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. If I'm going to put any storage or cabinets up in there, probably not much. So yeah, easy to wrap it up. Metal storage, cutting station, so then you can go right in line and right out the door to where I'm going to be welding out there. And a little leftover for a wood rack or really light metal. And then the breaker box over here, welder station here. A good place to probably put a fire extinguisher right by the door, midway there, and at least one here, and maybe one over there, maybe not, because that might be in the way of the chop saw station. Workbench starting from the edge of that window to make room for the welder stuff. Workbench there, shallow wall cabinets there, and then to give it a little distance so you don't bump into the workbench here, probably start the workbench from this stud, go all the way across, cabinets here, cabinets there, maybe have them go all the way up. Not quite sure, but yeah, it's going to be a lot of storage here. I figured this height would be good for working just below, because then that's at waist level, get a stool perfect working height. So, and that's it for the update of my channel and renaming it. So look forward to a lot of welding videos to come in the near future. Once I get set up, I'll be welding, and I'll be showing the process of getting set up for a basic welding shop where you could weld outside. And recap on all the plans, really quick and dirty. Welding station, breaker box, and power inlet over here. Workbench from basically that window over to maybe that stud to give more room to walk through that door so you don't hit anything on the way in. Some wall cabinets or shelves here. I might go with shelves, shallow shelves, maybe 12-inch. Then over here, this is going to be one long workbench all the way down. Cabinets, and then you're going to have open bench storage down here for tools and stuff. And not sure if I'm going to put anything on the back wall, but then here, like I said, is going to be metal storage and scrap lumber. Not necessarily scraps, but leftover lumber leftover from projects, so you can keep it out of the way. And then chop saw station and some fire extinguishers, you know, like one here, one up there. So if I'm welding outside and I need to grab a fire extinguisher, I can just grab it from there. Then the garage door is closed. I have fire extinguisher right here, right inside the door. Just quick open the door, grab the extinguisher, and put something out. So that's it, folks. Till next time, take care and get out there and build something.